you guys don't seem to have anything personally take place, so we'll just jump into the shit.
Ain't too much personal shit right now, man.
Nah,
Just personal growth, but that shit ain't exciting.
that's what we hear. That's what we do the show for.
But that shit ain't exciting to talk about, my
Yes,
nigga. Like it's just exciting to see like what ends up happening from personal growth. That's the only thing that's exciting.
it's
Don't
so.
nobody want to talk about my day to day, nigga. My day to day is not interesting, my nigga. It's literally
But your personal growth is in part. This sounds disgusting. It went from sounding like good, clean, wholesome to like don't ask me about my personal growth, my nigga. Don't say it like that either.
hey, my nigga, give me a heads up on your personal growth, nigga. What's your personal growth be like? Hey, nigga, no, from now on, bro, just be asking niggas about their personal growth and see how thrown off they are.
So I'll talk about my personal growth since no one seems to want to
Please,
share.
man, elaborate.
And it's how I got one of the topics too.
Shit.
Emotions in business.
I did want to hear about that one. I like that one on the list.
I had some interesting conversations that sort of felt emotional, and for what after when you think you're evolving, you think you're growing or whatever. One of the things that I've come to sort of understand is like, especially being in the rooms when negotiations are happening and you're trying to like determine value and stuff. You can't really bring emotions in those rooms as much as you may want to, as much as we may think it is, and it's unfortunate. Shout out to Mama Mona. She tagged me and Addie in Puff's. Puff put on his story like, "Yo, like move with more strategy, less emotion," and I reposted it because that applies to me. Like I knew why she tagged it. Like so many of my early decisions as far as music and even with the pod had hints of emotion in the decision making, and it doesn't behoove the process. And so I understood exactly what she meant. So I reposted it, and immediately was hit not by just one, but several people who were like low key outraged and sort of proved the point of the post and didn't realize they were proving the point of the post. And it was like, oh. And so, what I was happy about was like, and this is the personal growth shit. It's like I didn't take them being upset personal. I was like, yo, hella respect your point. And then part of me wanted to offer the other side to like count, but it was like it's already an emotional conversation, you know. And I salute to the people who are like, yo, money ain't everything, who will do like all that, but still have this hopefulness about being able to compete and earn at the rate of a Joe Rogan, which we'll get to. That decision, that venture, there's no emotion involved in that. Everybody's like, oh, he's getting back at YouTube. No. There's nothing to do with YouTube. Spotify, we've been talking about it on this show for as long as the show has existed. Spotify has been leveraging to take over content as a whole. Everybody just fully slept on them, like, and didn't really see where they were coming from. As far back as my trip to Toronto, was in the building when they were closing the deal to purchase DistroKid, to purchase The Ringer, to purchase Joe Rogan, but like, you know what I'm saying, to acquire all these different entities that house so much viewership already, so much engagement. Like Spotify just saw what it was, and it's a lot like Netflix is banking on the creative, and it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate that so many of us will miss out on opportunities because it's because of the emotion.
Completely.
Niggas always want to use Dave Chappelle as a barometer. Like, yo, he walked away and then he was vindicated. Dave Chappelle would be the first one to tell you, like, that shit fucked him up when he walked away from that money. Like not realizing the how much it would affect everybody else. He talks about it stand up after stand up, from Neil to his family to the other comedians and other writers on the show. They talk about that at length, and he's like, I had to go away for 13 years for it all to make sense. You know, so all of these come at a price, and what I
Luckily, he was able to, man.
exactly
Like not everybody
to run it back.
are
No.
able to. Not even just running it back. They're just not able to be able to take a break like that.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Just to get your mental health right and wrap your brain around what's going on. You know what I mean? Like a lot of times you don't get a chance to have that opportunity, and you just got to keep running. You got to keep hitting all these things full steam ahead, and then not realizing that eventually you're gonna break the fuck down. Like
yeah,
all this shit keeps moving, my man. And like we are only human, bro. So like that shit eventually will tear you down if you are approaching life that way. If you're not approaching with your mental health first and foremost, then I don't know what the fuck you trying to do.
man.
You know what I mean? I have zero clue. So that's why the folks that think that money is the driving force on things that you do is the reason why you be so fucked off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because what happens when you receive the money, bro?
And you're still not whole. You're still not together internally. Like it how that works, and it sucks because
More money is not more problems. Like nigga, you just have problems, my nigga.
you just have problems.
You just have problems, bro. You just never dealt with it. So yeah, money is just gonna accentuate. Like it's just gonna put an exclamation point on that shit. But it's not that because of money you have more problems. My nigga, is literally you already have problems that you're not dealing with, and then as you continue on, them shits compound and grow and become their own entity within you.
Yeah. No, that's what I was getting at, to the ownership, not not of physical property, but the ownership in engagement. Like I'm just not. I no longer want to walk in to meetings and discuss, what my potential value is, what we're forecasted to do. I just don't care to walk in with that energy of taking offense to anything that a predominant white room is probably gonna have to say about what it is, what they have me valued at. I think about Monique and Netflix and like the fight that she want. Like, yo, this is business. This is strategy we're talking here. But you fuck with chess? No? Oh, you probably should. Like, really go sit down and like talk. Let's talk strategy. Like, your emotions don't have no fucking place in here. And I thought I don't know. I found it fascinating because it was something where I had to have a bunch of conversations in and around business that felt real emotional driven, and it's funny to be in the other realm of it, where it's like you want to protect and defend and be emotional too, and it's like, oh no, that's not what this is here. It's funny because it was happening in real time, and like time kind of slowed down, and I'm going back and forth between the conversations, and these are like, I'm like, yo, I'm not about to text, let's get on the phone. So I'm on the phone, get off one conversation, get on another one, and one is emotion, the other one is business, and we got to a conclusion because we were talking business, and like, oh, that makes sense. I see where you come from. Let's work on this. Oh, damn, think about this. Like it was a beautiful sort of transaction where the emotional driven one, it just ended. It just was over. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, it's like, damn, that's fascinating. And then yesterday posted that, had another emotionally driven conversation, and it was like, let me step away from this. And then watching so many people want to have conversations in and around the Joe Rogan thing, and I'm like, oh, y'all missing it. Like, everybody immediately is jumping to what Joe got. No, let's talk about what Spotify got. Because Joe shit is public. Like, everybody's combing through that and like, oh, this is a win for...
I hate public, man.
Man,
I
this
really do.
This is a win for content creators. Joe Rogan been doing this shit for 11 years, my nigga. He got 3,000 episodes.
He has bread.
He's fine. He wasn't in there emotionally negotiating about this content that he didn't. He's been working on for 11 years of his. He's dedicated a decade of his, possibly more than that.
Nah, he put a stamp on his catalog.
Because he wouldn't.
This is just like another hook on his ring. Like that's it.
Like because when you're not,
it was powerful for both sides. That's how beautiful it was. Is that it literally was a power chess move for both sides.
And no one's talking.
That's how you know that there was no emotion involved.
In 48 hours of announcing their deal, Netflix stock jumped almost 18%.
Spotify.
I'm sorry, yeah, Spotify stock jumped almost 18%. That's the equivalent of about $5 billion, y'all. Mm-hmm. No one, excuse me. In 48 hours of announcing the partnership with one content creator. All right, man, we gotta have a different convo here, and like how this is affecting everything. Mm-hmm. Like this ain't just podcasts. This is shifting music. Everybody's been in an uproar, and we talk about it at length on the show, like trying to figure out what it means, what this means, what is happening to music because of streams, and artists don't know. Artists are looking at this too, like, wait a minute, 100 mil for some long form 3-hour podcast? Okay,
that's at the low end. They're saying the low end is 100 mil.
Come on,
because they don't have no exact number of what he got, but they just know.
They're speculating.
I knew for sure, bro, it wasn't 100.
Yeah, because you got
100. That's just a good number to throw out there for everybody to be in a frenzy about.
Yeah.
That's not talk about nothing as far as like what residuals are and like all the shit on the back end of this. And
what bonuses if they
that part
drive.
they never talk about that.
We ain't talking about no bonuses.
Even the sports contracts, they never really break that down with like that. Like they do it the reverse with the sports contracts. They go this is what they could potentially earn.
Yeah.
But there's certain milestones and things in those contracts that you got to play a full season. If you make Pro Bowl, like that's why niggas be pressed to make Pro Bowl. Like that bonus for making a Pro Bowl be sick sometimes. It'd be the difference of like, we gonna go buy another crib or some shit. You know, it's all these things that emotionally driven people can't unpack because it's operating with a bunch of fucking emotion. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. If you don't want your emotions suppressed, excuse me, but and that's not even to be dismissive because I know what that feels like too. But there are places.
I mean, you should have emotion, like be emotionally vested in like your significant other.
Facts.
And your children.
Facts.
Yeah. Maybe the people that birthed you. But yeah, this shit is business, man. Like everything, the sooner you can get to that point and understand that how much of this shit is built off of no emotional investment in any individual whatsoever, the better for yourself. But they'll use your emotions though. So if you show your emotions, best believe it's somebody that's using them, puppeteering them. So.